Hello and welcome along to this DLC spotlight on the Kverneland and Vicon equipment pack. This is a DLC that will be released for Farming Simulator 19 on the 16th of June. So next Tuesday as I am recording this. And a huge thank you to Giants for giving me early access to this so that I can have a look over it and bring an overview of it to you. So the way this video is going to work is I'm going to give you a quick overview of all the equipment that we have here. There is a lot of equipment in this pack. As you can see, it's lots and lots of stuff that is going to enhance your Farming Simulator 19 farming experience. So we're going to go through all of this. I will go through it in the shop and everything for you first. Then a few of my favourite bits that I've singled out, we're going to go and try out and do a little bit of work with. So first off, I'm going to give you a general overview of everything. So included in this pack, we have a plough, 2 cultivators, we have 3 seeders and a front tank. We have 2 planters, 3 sprayers, 1 solid fertilizer sprayer, 3 mowers, 1 tedder, a bale wrapper, a windrower and a round baler. So in all there are 20 pieces of equipment included in this across the Kverneland and Vicon brands. And 4 of these items, so there's 20 pieces of actual machinery. 4 of them are able to be branded either Kverneland or Vicon, and those are this bale, the fast bale, the Vicon, and well, this is the Andex 1304 windrower, and the Vicon, and these 2 mowers, which are actually a different model number between the 2 different brands. So we will cover all that in the shop in a moment. So yeah, in fact, without further ado, let's start by going through, and we're going to start off with this, the Kverneland 2500S iPlough. You will find this under the ploughs section of the shop. It has cost 36,000 for its base price, 165 horsepower power requirement, 2.5 meter working width, 7 mile an hour working speed. Best used with the SB700 front weight, so a bit of weight on the front of this is good. If we pop in here and have a look, it has only 1 design configuration, and that is to add this on the side. This is the Pack-O-Mat. It is an additional packer. This will turn the plough into cultivation and is basically ends up making this plough work in game very much like a subsoiler. I love this. I've waited for a piece of equipment or a plough with this on for ages in the game. Really love that it's in here now. Adds 8,000 to your base price of 36,000. So the maximum you will pay for this plough is 44,000. Yeah, really loving this. Next up, we have the Kverneland Enduro Pro 5000F. You will find this in the shop under cultivators. And it is 37,500. 240 horsepower power requirement, 5 meter working width, which is a decent working width for this, 9 mile per hour working speed, and similarly this is recommended to have the SB 1600 weight on the front of it, or similar size weight. If we go into it, this has no customization options, so the base price of 37,500 is all you will pay for this. And yeah, again, nice looking cultivator, good for a nice mid-range tractor to do your fields with. The second cultivator included in with this DLC is the Kverneland Turbo 8000T. Like the last one, you will find this under cultivators in the shop, and this has a base price of 79,950. It requires 400 horsepower, to pull it. Has a 7.7 meter working width, 9 mile an hour working speed, and having a look at this, it has no customization options, and so the maximum you will pay for this is the base price of 79,500. It is a nice looking cultivator again in this. Slightly less working width for its power requirement than some other cultivators in game, but otherwise, yeah, I think this is a nice piece of kit. On to the first of our seeders, and this is the Kverneland E-Drill Maxi. As I said, you will find this under seeders in the shop. It has a power requirement of 130 horsepower, has a 2,000 litre capacity, has a working width of 3 meters, works at 9 miles per hour. Recommended that you have the SB700 weight on this, so or similar weight. Takes only seeds, and will seed you wheat, barley, oats, canola, soybeans, oilseed radish or grass. No customization options on this, so this will only cost you a maximum of 34,500 to get this. And yeah, good little starter drill this. I quite like it. Our second seeder is the Kverneland DF-2 Plus NG-S 101 F35 seeder, and its accompanying front tank, the Kverneland DF2 front hopper. These are both again found in the seeders section of the shop, and yeah, 52,000 for the DF2 Plus NG-S 101 F35. That requires 260 horsepower to run, has a 6 meter working width, which is a really nice working width on this, a 9 mile an hour working speed, goes with, as I said, the DF-2 front hopper, and this will seed wheat, barley, oats, canola, soybeans, oilseed radish and grass. Again, it also has no customization options, so 52,000 is all you will pay for this piece of kit. As I mentioned, it's paired with this, the DF2 front hopper. That is 16,400. That holds 2,000 litres, so that increases. In fact, yeah, there is no storage on the seeder itself, so you will need this along with the seeder. 2,000 litre capacity on this, goes with the aforementioned seeder, and this holds seeds. No customization options on this either, so yeah, base price of 16,400 is all you will pay for this as well, but you will need these two pieces of equipment together to get proper functioning, or at least some sort of front hopper on it. The third and final seeder available in this DLC is the DG2 12,000. I like the other two seeders, of course. It is available under seeders, and this has a price of 138,500, 230 horsepower power requirement, 6,000 litre capacity, 12 meter working width, 11 mile an hour working speed. Goes well with having a nice big weight on the front. Takes only seed. Will seed wheat, barley, oats, canola, soybeans, oilseed radish and grass. And if we have a look at it in here, has no customization options. Interestingly, this is only 12 meters, which is not as big as I thought this would be, but it is it's still a very nice seeder. I like this a lot. Not a huge power requirement. 230 horsepower is not a lot for this seeder, so yeah, I really like that. With no customization, won't cost you more than 138,500 to purchase it. So yeah, good seeder if you've got the money. Next is the first of our planters. This is the Kverneland Optima Rs. You will find this under planters, as you would expect. It is 69,000. It has a 180 horsepower power requirement, a capacity of 2,720 litres. 9 meter working width, 9 mile per hour working speed. Suggested to have an AGCO 1500 or similar weight on the front of it. Will take both seeds and fertilizer, and will plant corn, sunflowers, soybeans, sugar beet, cotton and canola, interestingly. So that is nice planter. It has no customization, and what I really like is how you transport this to the field. Really wide 9 meter seeder, and you can tow it to the field. Absolutely brilliant. So yeah, no customization. So 69,000 is the most you will pay for this. The second of the 2 seeders is the Kverneland Monopil E-Drive 224. Again, found in the planters part of the shop. 79,500 for this. It is 145 horsepower, 1,000 litres capacity. 12 meter working width, 9 mile per hour working speed. Again, recommended to have a weight on the front, in this case an SB 1600 or similar. Will only plant seeds, this one. And similarly, will only plant corn, sunflower, soybean, sugar beet and cotton. So no canola on this. Slightly smaller capacity, but larger working width. For 10,000 more. Interesting choice between these two, I think. It really depends on what you're looking to do on your farm, I think, with these two. If we have a quick look at it, really like this. Again, easy transport down the road as it is transported end on, and yeah, looks absolutely cracking. No customization, so 79,500 is the maximum you will pay for this, and a good piece of kit. Next up, we have the first of our 2 sprayers and its accompanying front tank. This is the Kverneland Ix B18 sprayer and the accompanying iExtra 1100 comfort. You will find both of these under crop protection. The iExtra B18 is 26,500, has a capacity of 1,800 litres, has a 7 mile an hour working speed. Recommended the front tank that goes with it has an 18 meter width, although we'll see in a minute that is the minimum, and will take either herbicide or fertilizer. This does have customization, and the thing I love about this, and we'll get to this later in the video, is just how big this goes. So its base width on this is 18 meters. That can be expanded not just to 24 meters, but 28 meters. You can add an extra 10 meters to the width of this. It adds 14,500 to go to the max width, taking your 26,500 up to 41,000 to get this fully kitted out. But that is a monster width that is on this sprayer. That couples with the iExtra 1100 comfort front tank. That is 6,000 to purchase. Has a capacity of 1,100 litres. And again, will take either fertilizer or herbicide. And if you look in here, this also has no customization. Yeah, it comes as you see it, and goes very nicely with your sprayer. Now, if the previous sprayer was a monster, this one is even bigger. This is the Kverneland Ix Track T4. Like the last sprayer, you will find it under crop protection, and it is 66,500 for this. 4,600 litres in the tank, 7 mile an hour working weight, minimum 18 meter 7 mile an hour working speed, minimum 18 meter working width. Herbicide or fertilizer is taken, but the beauty of this is you head in here and you get the customizations. So this has 2 customizations available to it. You've got the standard narrow tires and the narrow tyres and the standard tyres. So the standard tyres adds 1,200 to the price, and then you've got your working width. So base working width on this is 18 meters. This goes up to a whacking 40 meters. It is humongous, the width that you can get with this sprayer. It will add 20,000 to the price of it to do it. But that I think must be the biggest trailed sprayer in game, because that is just absolutely humongous. Takes for maximum customizations, add 21,200 onto your base price of 66,500, and that will take you up to 87,700 for this. But wow, what a monster sprayer this is. Which brings us to the last of our fertilization items on here. You will find this, which is the Exacta TL Geospread Kverneland piece of equipment, this one. And that is under fertilizer technology this time. And there you go, 24,500 for this. 3,900 litre capacity, 24 metre working width, 12 mile an hour working speed. Recommended an SB 1000 weight on the front of your tractor or similar, and it only takes fertilizer, so no lime with this. If we have a look in here, no customization options, so 24,500 is what you pay for it. But yeah, nice little fertilizer spreader with a really good capacity on it. I like that. Which moves us on to the grass equipment. And the first of our mowers. This is the Kverneland 4140L mower. It's a trailed mower. You will find it, unsurprisingly again, in the mowers section of the shop. And it is 20,300 with an 85 horsepower power requirement, a 4 meter working width, a 13 mile an hour working speed, and it has no customization options. So yeah, it just comes in this form here, and yeah, nothing to change on it. So 20,300 is what you will pay for this mower. Next up, we have the Kverneland 85 112 Tedder. This again can be found in your shop under Tedders, and is 24,500, 90 horsepower power requirement, 11.2 meter working width, so nice wide Tedder this one, 11 mile an hour working speed, recommended the SP 700 weight or similar when you're using this, and if we have a look in here, it doesn't have any customization options, it's just a nice wide Tedder this one. Which brings us to our Kverneland 7850 bale wrapper. Now you can see here actually this is listed as well, it's got Vicon on the front here. So we will go in and have a look at this, because this is one of the pieces of equipment that is immediately able to be done between two pieces of setup. So you'll find this under baling technology. It's listed as a Kverneland in here. It is the 7850, as I said. And it's 22,000 to purchase this. This will wrap round bales. You have a choice of foil colour on here, which you can choose between the white, the black, the pink, and the green, none of which cost you extra to do. You've got wrapper design, you've got standard, and you have with the bale end-on turner. First time I've seen this in Farm Sim from an official piece of equipment. Very cool that, depending on what pickup tool you're using. If you're using an auto stacker, you kind of want it to be, yeah, you want it to be end-on, which is absolutely brilliant. I love that from this. And then you have a brand choice. So you've got the Kverneland 7850, or you've got the Vicon BW2850 available. So this is one of the first pieces of tools that comes in either Vicon or Kverneland branding, depending on which one you prefer. It is an extra 2,000 on top for the change of design on it, taking your base price of 22,000 up to 24,000. On to the second of our mowers, and this is the Vicon Extra 732 FT. You'll find it under mowers in the shop, and yes, that has an 21,200 cost, 80 horsepower to run it, 3.2 meter working width, 13 mile an hour working speed. Recommended that you have the extra 7100T, which we'll come on to in a minute, behind it or at the back of it. And if we go in and have a look, the only customization we have on this is to take it from a Vicon Extra 732 FT to a Kverneland 3332 FT. And these are listed separately on the DLC page on the Giants website. So yeah, there are, as I said at the beginning of the video, there are a couple of pieces of equipment that are listed twice on the DLC page because they are available for both brands. Which brings us to its companion piece, this is the aforementioned Vicon Extra 7100T. Like its previous one, or like its partner, it is available under the mowers section. 55,000 for this piece of equipment, 200 horsepower usage requirement. So fairly high. If we compare that to the Pottinger, that's an extra 40 horsepower to work this. But you have an extra 2 meters in its working width. So yeah, 200 horsepower, 10.2 meter working width. 30 mile per hour working speed, and yeah, it goes very well with the front mower as well. Like its compatriot, like its the front mower, it does come in both Vicon Extra 7100T brand or the Kverneland 53100 MT. No difference in price between the two of those. What does change the price is the add-ons on the back of this, and I love these, and we will demonstrate these in a little bit. But these allow you to create, these are windrows that you can add on the back. So these are the Vario BX. If you take them off, it drops 20,000 off the price. Yeah, 55,000. Most you'll pay is 75,000. Least you will pay is 55,000. And I think if we pop back out here, yeah, so 55,000 is our minimum price. Very cool this, and wait to use it. We'll show this in action in a little bit. Absolutely love that add-on. Really, really nice. And speaking of windrowers, we have the Vicon Index 1304 Pro. This is under windrows and is 52,500, 110 horsepower power requirement, 12.5 meter working width, 11 mile an hour working speed. And like the previous pieces of equipment, this can be customized to be a Kverneland 95 130C. No extra price for that, so the most you will pay for this is 52,500 for a 4-part or a 4-spoke windrower. And the final bit of equipment available as part of this DLC has to be one of my other favourites. This is the Vicon Fast Bale. You will find it under balers, and it is 110,000 to purchase, 150 horsepower power requirement, 4,000 litre capacity for a bale, which is standard bale in the game, 11 mile an hour working speed. This will take grass, hay and straw, and it will bale those up, of course. If we have a look at it, it has a few pieces of customization, this, which is really nice. So foil colour, again, you've got the white, the black, the pink and the green. You also have Vicon or Kverneland branding, which I think looks really nice on here, the Kverneland branding. Wheel brands, you have Trelleborg or Michelin. Are the only two choices. The Michelin does add an extra £300 or 300, sorry, to it because we've got euros here, and that will take you up to 110,300 minimal price to put the Michelins on here. Really nice baler. So yeah, that is the DLC, or an overview of the DLC. I really like this. 20 pieces of equipment, 24 with the brand changes on them. Very nice, really nice setup. This this is almost as many pieces of equipment as the Platinum Edition had, which is huge. I did not expect such a huge DLC to be available. We're going to go and have a look at some of the equipment. Starting with this. This is one, as I said, this is one of my favorites in here. I want to show how this works. So I've set it up here, I've done a couple of rows, and you can see that the plough works normally, and then the packer goes along the side and breaks up your plough furrows and turns it into being a proper setup. And I really like this. One of the things I'm beginning to look at in the game is actually breaking up plough furrows before I go and use a seeder that or seeder or planter that doesn't have built-in ability to direct seed. I think it works better. Now I've gone all the way to the end here because what I want to show you is you lift this up and you change it over. There's two things you can do. First, folding away the packer is like that, and then that will just fold off to the side. But the other cool one is to fold, doing the turnover, the way the packer goes over the top. Really love that. And then the final one is if you fold our plough up, and you can see the packer gets out the way, folds round, and you fold it up for transport. That is a cracking piece of transport. I really love that. Which brings me on to this. So this is my favourite seeder from this. This is our DF2 along with our very complicated DF2 plus NGS101 F35. I actually, looking at these, so that's the DF2 part, is the feeders, which is why we got the tank with it. And then the actual bits on the front here, that is the other section of it. So it's sort of 2-3 pieces of equipment together. I'm actually thinking this is our seeder and this is a cultivator attachment, looking at how it's set up. So yeah, very cool. We've got this on a FS19, which is a little bit of overkill for this, but as you can see, that just looks amazing on this. And again, the level of detail and everything on this is absolutely wonderful. Really love this, and love this piece of equipment and how it works. So yeah, I think I will be using this at some point because that is just really cool. The next piece of kit I want to cover is this. So this is our sprayer. This is the smaller display. So this is the Xter B18. This is its full width, and we can do this field in less than 3 passes with the width on this. It is absolutely massive. I don't think there's a sprayer that goes to this width or that has this much option in the game. And you can see it is just an absolute monster if you want to get stuff sprayed quickly. And this moves me on to the grass stuff. So I've got the Kverneland set up on the mowers on here, which, yeah, they look wonderful. And I want to show you the setup that we have for the actual mower bits at the back. So you can see at the moment we have a widespread set on it, and if we drive along, you'll see that gives a widespread. Love the animation of this at the back. We can then switch it to doing this. So this will now windrow. And windrows out the middle. And then, on top of that, you can switch it to the left one. Or you can switch it to the right one. That is absolutely awesome. I'm not quite sure why I would want to do left or right like that. But I love that. That is just so cool. The fact that you have so much control over these mowers is something that I absolutely love about this. Once you've done your mowing, of course you want to do your tedding, and that is what this is most useful for. So this is our big tedder, the 85 11 12. Pretty wide, working on a very small fender here. So this is a 310. And just working well. Not much more to say about this than this, because the main reason why I've done this is so that I can get it to here, jump out, and jump into this Valtra here, where we can have a look at the windrower, which again, nice wide width, slightly wider than the mower is, to be honest, which doesn't work that well if you're doing a follow me setup or something like that. But does row up really nicely. Creates a really neat, nice row. And looks fantastic doing it. Again, really nice attention to detail on all of this. Right in here, look at it in there. Look at all of that detail right in there. That you don't see that passing with all those bits in there, but it's just, yeah. I think I said 4 comb earlier. I meant 4. I think they're called spindles. But yeah, there's four sets of these here, which is yeah, nice wide one, and I'm just blown away. You get in close, and you can just see massive detail everywhere on this. And of course, the reason why you want to row up your stuff is so that you can get it baled. Now this baler I love, and I love it for a big reason. This is the first baler in the game that has a pre-chamber, and I absolutely love it. That bale went right, and we haven't stopped. We are just continuing to bale. As that wraps, that will drop it, I think. Will it drop it as soon as it wraps? Yeah. There we go. And because it's got this pre-chamber, we don't stop. We just keep going. And look, it just throws another one out. It will wrap that. And yeah, that is just utterly perfect. I love that. Gets to about 70, 80, I think it's 90%. No more beeps. Just a really, really efficient baler. And I want to get this. So yeah, takes it from one chamber to the next, and then we can come over here, and so it wraps when you've got grass in there, and you kick a grass baler out. But this preload chamber, absolutely brilliant. Just moves seamlessly from one to the other, and it's just great. I love this. You don't have to stop to bale anymore with this. And it'll just throw these out now, and there we go. So we've managed to get it with hay to a point where we overload. But otherwise, yeah, you go at a standard speed and you will be absolutely fine. So I love that. That is just brilliant. Really, really nice, this baler. I will be using this. 110,000 is not a huge amount for a baler, especially as it has the wrapper built into it. So really, really cool. So there we go. That is my spotlight on the Kverneland Vicon Equipment Pack DLC for Farming Simulator 19. I absolutely love this pack. It is brilliant. £15 for it, I think, is absolutely reasonable. And it is just an awesome pack. There is a link in the description where you can buy it from Giant's website. and it will also support the channel if you do so. It reminds me of the Coon Pack in FS17 that just added so many more options to the game. So many little tweaks, so many nice new little features, like the packer on this plow, and the preload chamber in that baler, and the ability to windrow on these mowers, and the extra width on the sprayers. All absolutely brilliant. I really love this. It is a cracking DLC. I will leave this here, which means that all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest videos from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel and ring that bell. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.